Hi guys, hoping you can hear me. Let me know if it's if I'm coming through all right. Nana Kim already. I love it. I love how I've already got someone here. Hoping that you can hear me. That's always my worry. I'm going to chat on for an hour and no one's going to be listening to what I'm saying. I'm getting love hearts, so I'm gathering that means you can hear me all right. So we'll wait a few minutes before we get into going through everything. Make sure that we've got a few people in first. Evening, hear you loud and clear. Karen, hi. Thank you for joining us. Brilliant. Glad you can hear me all right. What's the weather been like where you are? It's I don't think it can decide what it wants to do here. It's a little bit cold, a little bit warm, a little bit muggy, and then it's rainy. Almost looks like it wanted to be a full-on storm yesterday. So I don't know. It's the British weather, isn't it? You just don't know where you are, what you're doing, or what's going to happen, really, do you? So today, what we are going to be doing is we're going to have a look at all three new collections. So they've got three collections out. Bethan Thomason, hi. How are you? Thank you for joining. Kirsty D, good evening. Hi. Hope you're well. Just saying, the weather's a bit weird here. Don't know what it's like where you all are. It's that time of year for us Brits, isn't it? It just doesn't know what it wants to do. It gives us a little bit of everything in one day, doesn't it? I was just about to say that they've got CiaoBella. You know that besides the fact that I absolutely loved you. In fact, I'll tell you a little bit about them. CiaoBella, when they did their first DT call before I got with Crafter's Companion. Very wet here in Teesside. Oh, it's not that bad here. Before I got with Crafter's Companion, I was their first design team call. I got on their design team very happily. And I've loved them ever since. Unfortunately, working for Crafter's Companion, it meant that I had to come off all of the design teams. But obviously now I'm not with Crafter's Companion. It does mean that I get to work with the beautiful ladies at CiaoBella and gents and the beautiful paper collections. And they have come on so much since I first started. We had paper pads and fussy cutting pads, but we've got all the deluxe papers now. We've got stamps, we've got stencils. We have got the deluxe papers, the vellum papers. So it's such an amazing collection of everything now. They do a little bit of everything. Louise, I was watching you on telly the other day, Louise. You did some amazing stuff with these collections. Finally, the rain stops there in Cambridge. Yeah, it's just miserable, isn't it? It really is. So if none of you actually caught Louise doing the launch of these on Create and Craft, was it yesterday or the day before? Go back and have a look because she did some beautiful demos. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a good... Sorry, I get the screen is right in front of me so I can see all the comments as they're coming up, and you know how distracted I get. Sunny and hot here in Florida. Patty, I am not jealous at all. Martina, hi, nice to have you here. Good evening. I love the new collections. Oh, they are all just absolutely beautiful. And you couldn't get three more different collections if you tried, from the flower shop to the Coral Reef to the, bear with me because I always get this one wrong, to Land of the Rising Sun. Absolutely beautiful. So let's have a quick look through this. So what you have here is you have a 6x6 pad. Now, this is your fussy cutting pad. Now, what I love about this is if you love to fussy cut, it is absolutely brilliant because you have got so many different beautiful elements. If you're not a fan of fussy cutting, you can use some of your shaped dies if you've got them as well. But what you're also getting in here, as you can see, is just on the reverse of those fussy cutting pages, is just a beautiful 6x6 paper pad. So if you're into fussy cutting, if you're not into fussy cutting, there's something for everyone in here, because on the backs of all of those, you've got the beautiful patterns. So that is my 6x6 pad, which is, like I was just saying, absolutely gorgeous. But then what else, or what other items you get in your 6x6 pads is you get the vellum, and we'll open those in a minute, and you get the deluxe. Now, Luana was saying to me that the deluxe papers are printed either on gold leaf, did she say silver leaf, or like a pearlescent leaf? And this pack is definitely on that pearlescent. Look at that. Olga, hi Michelle, miss seeing you live. Oh, hi, I'm glad you managed to catch us then. Lovely to have you here. So again, you've got lots of fussy cutting elements on these, but can you hear that? Can you hear the texture that's on there? So they're absolutely gorgeous. These are a paper pad. They're not a card weight at all, but you've got those tabs and tags. Hold it that way, look, the light's not shining right on it and you can see them a little bit better. And again, lots of fussy cutting elements, all those butterflies. It's just an absolutely gorgeous collection. So that is your 6x6 in that deluxe paper. I can't get it in. And then we'll go on to the vellums. So you've got these 6x6 vellums. And it's going to be the same with every collection, what you get with regards to all the different pads. So you've got some beautiful windows there. You've got all windows and shutters, aren't there? Let's turn these round, because they're all absolutely gorgeous. It's just, I love vellum. And again, if you're not into fussy cutting, that would make just a beautiful mini envelope. It would just make a background on its own. You wouldn't necessarily need to fussy cut these. I was watching Louise Sims fussy cut the other day, so just send your stuff to her because she's blooming brilliant. Sure she won't mind. I'm sure she won't mind me offering her out for fussy cutting. But lots of these shapes, you're definitely going to be able to use some of your dies. So sort of your oval die, if you've got some shaped dies in your kit. I think we all have. I think we've all got lots of nesting dies. I'll bring these out first because we've just gone through the vellums and the deluxe, haven't we? I use double-sided sticky sheets on the vellum elements and they become... yes. Great idea, Louise. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, that's actually a brilliant idea. I never thought to do that, to be honest. But that's a great idea. Deb, at last I found you. Yes, I'm here. You haven't missed much. We've just gone through a couple of the 6x6. So we've gone through the 6x6 vellum, the 6x6 deluxe on that lovely pearlescent background, and then the 6x6 fussy cutting pad. And then we're going to move on to the A4. So these are the A4 deluxe. Look at those. When it catches the light there, look at that. It is just beautiful, isn't it? So you've got that huge beauty. Do you know, these deluxe, you're going to get some frames. You're going to put them in some frames. You're going to pop them on your wall and you're going to do nothing else with them because they are all absolutely gorgeous. Just trying to hold them so the light, my light isn't right on them so you can see them better. But when the light hits it, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, I want wallpaper like this. That is just absolutely stunning. Can you imagine the whole of my bedroom or the hallway in that kind of wallpaper? And then you've got this one. So I absolutely love this one. And I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. So that is your A4 deluxe papers. And we're still on the Flower Shop collection. There's so much to show you, there really is. The vellums. So we'll go on to the vellums, and these are A4 as well. And what I love about these is you get a plain vellum in here as well. So you can, you know, be doing whatever you want to do, background wise, things like that. But then you've got that beautiful floral with the butterflies running it through. I love this one. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The envelopes, the post box, you know, the truck, the clocks, the flower, everything. It is just absolutely gorgeous. Donna Yam, hello, hi. You're late. You're doing what I normally do and turn up 10 minutes late, but I'll let you off. Another one that would make a beautiful wallpaper. So what you're getting is you're getting an array. You're getting a plain one. You're getting some really florally ones. You're getting some that are a bit more subdued. So you've got a little bit of everything just in your vellums. From Florida. I'm not jealous, Donna, at all. Oh, it's here. So we'll pop these ones away as well. Oh, and again, I mean, you can probably see, but you get the matching. So, you know, you've got the matching in the deluxe and the vellum as well, which is always a bonus when you're wanting to mix textures and papers, things like that. There we go. So we'll pop that one to the side as well. And then what you've got, oh, I've got two here, look. But you get an 8x8 paper pad. So I'll open this one because I've already cut bits up out of this one where I created a card the other day. So it's an 8x8. And even on the front, you've got all those elements that you are going to use straight away. Let me just move that light just a little bit, because it's annoying me just a tiny little bit. That feels a little bit better. So again, you've got elements that you can cut out. You've got tags, you've got little fussy cutting elements, but you've got huge pieces that you can really create with. Again, I love to have the wood effect in any paper pad because it's just so useful. Tabs and tags galore, but then you the back of them are beautiful papers. This is one of my favorites. I just love this. Then you've got again the beautiful back. Maybe this one is my favorite. I'm not so sure. I think they're all going to be my favorites. But you've got the beautiful array of shops there. The imagery, the artwork is just absolutely stunning. And again, if you not wanting to fussy cut, you have got the most beautiful background paper on there. That is a small scrapbook page, isn't it? Nothing else. You would pop a few maybe die cut elements on that and nothing else at all. And sorry. I just read a message. Michelle, is the colour tone a muted sepia? I'm having trouble seeing the colours. It is quite a muted colour palette. It's very pastel-y, but it is quite muted. But again, it always looks different, I think, on everyone's screen, because I'm looking at it on my computer screen in front of me, and it looks totally, well, it doesn't, but it looks a lot different to what it does on my mobile phone. So, but it's beautiful pastels. They are definitely muted. The backgrounds are lovely creams, sort of along that tone, definitely. And then again, always good to have a nice checked one, isn't it? Lovely foliage. And then again, right on the back, you've got just a full piece, which is absolutely beautiful. So if you're creating 8x8 cards, that's just a lovely full image straight away, isn't it? So popping that in there, so that's your 8x8 paper pad. If I pop that to the side, it matches perfectly with the 12x12 paper pad. So I don't know if you can see, but if you can see all the different sheets here, they're exactly the same in the 12x12 paper pad. They're just upscaled. I have to take them out because you need to just see how beautiful they are. So look at that one. It's just, the artwork is just incredible. I'll go through this one a little bit quicker because you have just seen it in the 8x8, but it's always nice to see it in the 12x12, isn't it? I mean, it is just absolutely beautiful. So that's one of those that I said I liked in the 8x8. In the 12x12, it is just absolutely stunning. And if I lift that up, can you see you've got all those little sort of red flowers on there? Love it. Again, you've got that beautiful wood effect. Bigger tags on here, so you're talking sort of 4x6 in size. Again, no fussy cutting, you can just cut those out. Fussy cutting if you're loving it. Again, beautiful background pieces. Look at this. It's just absolutely beautiful. And then you're to the beginning. So that is, again, it matches the 8x8. Betsy Black, gorgeous papers. Oh, Betsy, hi. Have you snuck in between your work meetings? They are all my favourites. Oh, I know exactly what you mean. They're just absolutely stunning. Of the 3 collections that they've brought out this time, again, I was saying earlier, wasn't I? They are so, so different. But trying to decide which one is my favourite is impossible because they are all so beautiful. So you do get an A4. This is your creative pad, and I'll just quickly show you, because what you do get is lots of not just fussy cutting elements, but smaller elements, so tags and just little mats and layers that you can be using. And again, you've got the beautiful backgrounds on the reverse. So if you've got a particular page that you know you're not going to use because you're never going to fussy cut those elements out, then you've got the beautiful reverse to be able to use. So that is the 8x8. So that's called the creative pad. And then you do get the patterns pad as well. And again, it's so your patterns pad is different to your paper pad, but no less beautiful. So just flick through them. I mean, look at just that piece on its own. You wouldn't want to do anything to it. I mean, of course we will, but you wouldn't want to. These are definitely the pads where you buy one to use and you buy one to keep. No, it's not just me. I know it's not just me. And there we go. So look at that one. Just absolutely beautiful, isn't it? So that is the patterns pad. So when Lou launched these on Create and Craft the other day, they had lots of different bundles. They had the full bundle. They had all separate elements that you could buy as well. So I've already stamped these out for you so you can see them a lot better. So this is the stamp set that comes with, or that coordinates with, the flower shop. And you can see, so I stamped these out first time. I used my rocker block. I had no sponge behind, and they stamp absolutely beautiful. I think if you've got brilliant stamps, it doesn't matter. This one's called Floral Elegance. So if you're into your stamps and you would like them, there is that. And then this is the stencil that comes with this collection. So it's Renaissance Romance, and I've just inked it in 2 colours. And I've even wrote them there just in case anyone wants to know what colours I've used. Does Create and Craft ship to US? Do you know, I'm pretty sure they do. But I can't be 100% sure. I'm pretty sure that they do. I mean, I'll check into it. I mean, if Lou's still watching, she'll probably have more of an idea than me. But I'm 99% sure that they do. But I will definitely check into that and let you know. So that is that collection. That is the beautiful, trying to gather it all together, flower shop collection. So I'm just going to move that to the side because I'm going to grab the Land of the Rising Sun. We'll go through this one a little quicker, but without losing any of the fun. So, well, my stamp stencils are on top, so we'll go through these first. So this is one of the stamping sets that you get with it. And that is called Land of the Rising Sun. But how beautiful it is. Again, the stamps, the imagery, absolutely gorgeous. You get 2 with this collection. You've got the beautiful cherry blossom on there. And this one is called Sakura Blossom. And again, just absolutely gorgeous. So 2 sets with this one. And then these are the 2 stencils that you get. So these are the stencils. This is the Harmonious Flowering. Is that correct? It is, yeah. Harmonious Flowering. And you can see just how beautiful it is. I've just inked through it. Just so you guys could see a lot better. And then this is the other one, the Oriental Elegance. Such a beautiful black background. So that is your stencils. Let's pop this back under here for a second. Louise, I believe CNC do ship to the US. I thought they did, but I didn't want to say and then be wrong. Right, so we've got here, you get, that's for my Coral Reef. Again, you've got the 6x6 in the deluxe, in the vellum, and I do have a 6x6 in the fussy cutting pad as well. So again, we'll quickly go through the fussy cutting pad because it's very much the same. You've got all those beautiful fussy, oh, look at those ladies. You've got all those beautiful fussy cutting elements on the front, but you've got beautiful background papers on the back. Do you know, it transports you there, doesn't it? It absolutely does. So lots and lots of, I've already looked through these a dozen times, but each time I get them back out, I'm just stunned by the artwork. It is gorgeous. But don't forget the back. Look at the backs. So, do you know, this is perfect for anyone and everyone in your family. So the men, the women, the kids, the adults. Men come under all of those categories, don't they? Kids and adults. It's just the men in my life. Handcrafted by Gaz. Hello, hello. I thought it was 7:30. You are fashionably late, Gaz. So, vellums. We haven't got to the Coral Reef, Gaz, so you're all right. You haven't missed what I think is going to be your favourite. Your vellums, again, those beautiful cuttable elements in here. The reds in this are just delicious. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that one. What I love about these is actually they make you want to fussy cut. They make you want to get better at the fussy cutting because they are just elements that you don't want to leave off of your cards or your projects, whatever it is. Laurie. Hello, Michelle and everyone, including Gas. Hi, I'm so glad that you managed to join us. Stephanie. Hi. I'm just having a quick look through, making sure that I've not. I believe CiaoBella is carried by stores in the US. Yes, it absolutely is. If you go onto Google and you just search for CiaoBella papers or CiaoBella and whatever collection it is, all the stores that, you know, do stock it will come up definitely. So this is your deluxe. And again, you've got lots of elements in here. Can you see the sheen on that? Beautiful. Lots of elements in here that you can beautifully fussy cut, or if you've got any of your nesting dies are going to work as well, definitely. But they're just, I'd love to know what it all says. But they're beautiful, aren't they? So they're your 6x6. I'm going to leave that out actually because if I show you the A4 deluxe papers as well, it is stunning, isn't it, Patty? Absolutely beautiful. I'll turn it right way around. So you are getting different papers in your A4 deluxe than you are getting in your 6x6 deluxe. So you are getting full Pieces of artwork, I want to say more than anything. You've got beautiful background pieces. Look when the light catches it. Beautiful, beautiful background pieces, absolutely. But this one, it's just, that's a frame on the wall job, isn't it? Definitely. So let me pop that to the side. I've given up putting them all back into their packaging now because I just want to show you everything. Oh my, that shimmer, absolutely. Beautiful paper, yeah, definitely. So your vellums, and again, you've got the plain piece in here, which is what I love. And then you've got the beautiful decorative pieces that are going to be background or foreground, ripped off, make beautiful envelopes. I love this one. It is just absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? So that is your vellum, your A4 vellum. And then as with them all, we've got the creative pad. So flipping through this, you have got always all those fussy cutting elements. If you aren't, you know, I always say, if you aren't brilliant at fussy cutting, then what I tend to do is if I've fussy cut something out and I've gone a little bit messy, sorry, I was just reading Louisa's comment. I believe that a cherry on top crafts stock CiaoBella. Yeah, if you fussy cut one and you've gone a little bit of a mess, then what I tend to do is I'll distress the edges. So if you distress the edges, then it sort of disguises if you've made a bit of a mistake. So you can tell that I've definitely made mistakes fussy cutting, because that's a great tip. But again, lovely black, and that sort of, it is a sort of a sepia. It's almost a tea or coffee stained effect that you're gonna that you're getting on there. So if I just move it, you can see it, can't you? Lots of toppers in this for your larger cards, your smaller cards, layering them up. Any of your junk journaling, look at that. Your card, absolutely perfect for your card making. If you're a card maker first and foremost, like I am, definitely. If you dabble in just a little bit of mixed media, like I do, then brilliant for that as well. If you are a master at it, like Louise is, then, you know, they're just perfect for everyone. So this is just your paper pad in the 8x8. In fact, I'm not going to show you that. Let's look at it in the 12x12, because it's exactly the same. It's just on the 8x8 pad. Let me turn it around. Instead of the 12x12. So you've just got that smaller. It's not cut down. You've just got the smaller imagery or the artwork. Right. This is just beautiful. Now, I've on my screen in front of me, that looks less blue and more grey, but there is more blue in it. So I don't know, again, how your screen might be picking it up, but it's the most beautiful blues and reds. You've got those koi fish. You have got, again, a frame on the wall job with that particular one. And then again on the back's absolutely gorgeous. But I'm trying to go through it a little bit quicker, but realizing that we don't want to go through it quick because they're so beautiful. The life is a flower of which love is the honey. I love it. And again, the sort of the sentiments in here different to what you're going to get in other collections. They're very unique like that. Look at this one. It's almost like you're on the street in wherever this is, in one of those little cities, those little towns with all the food stalls on the street. Get absolutely lost in it when you're looking through this. It is that way, isn't it? Again, another frame on the wall job there. If only I could afford it all. Well, the good thing is, you know, you can always cherry pick. You know, you don't have to. We do all want to go for the full collection, though, unfortunately, don't we? And then lastly, we've got the patterns pad. And again, it complements the paper pad absolutely beautifully. You're not getting any repeats through this from the patterns pad to the 12 by 12. Just this. Just straight away on the front, you've got so much that you're going to be using. The stamps are so great. I love it all. Martina, yeah, absolutely. Cool. So on your patterns pad, what I love is you always get this alphabet at the bottom. And obviously, depending on what collection it is, it ties in beautifully. So you can see the font on this. It just works obviously perfectly with the collection that it is. And then just the black and grey, it really, if you were popping anything else onto it, it is really just going to make it pop, isn't it? Lots of tags and tabs and elements on that one. Again, really beautiful. So you can see how this is the patterns pad that works with the paper pad. All those paper fans there. Look at this one. I mean, you know, it's sort of almost, you think this is sort of your background papers, but to be honest, lots of them you're going to use not just as a background. You don't necessarily want to be covering it up, do you? How beautiful is that? Wow, that paper's gorgeous. Michelle, have you ever been? No, I haven't ever been to Japan, and it's absolutely on my bucket list. It is somewhere that I absolutely would love to go. Japan, I would love to go to India. I would love to go everywhere. There's so many places that I would love to go and visit. I mean, so my nan, I don't know if I've ever told you, was from India. She was from a little town called Lahore. So I would love to go back to sort of that region and, you know, just discover sort of, I don't really know much about, you know, my grandparents and where they came from and all that kind of thing. So definitely something that I would love to explore. But I literally, bucket list would be a world tour. You know, if you're gonna do it, you know, go big. Why not? Right, the pièce de la résistance. Did I say that right? Is this beautiful collection. So this is that Coral Reef. And we'll start with the stencils again first. So you've got these two stencils. And I've already inked one up. I had a real good play with this. With my Tim Holtz Distress inks, I just added some blues and some greens and some sort of yellows to the background, and then I stenciled over. And I just had a real good play to get a little bit of depth. And then obviously we did that splash, you know, like we all do, with different inks. And it's just, nothing else needs to be done to that, does it really? And then the other stencil on the back is the abandoned coral. So it's, no, the colour's abandoned coral. It's not really picking it up so well, is it? There you go, that's better. And that stencil is called Fossils. So that's that stencil. And then this is the other stencil here. And that one is Retro Futuristic Marvels. So that is those. I'm going to pop that to the side because I'm going to use that later. And then you've got the stamps again. I love the Japan living styles. Food, sushi, so yum. Oh, you see, now that's the only thing. I don't eat fish. I eat fish fingers. Does that count as fish? And I'll have a cod from the chippy if we're at the seaside. But I'm not into fish, so I might have to starve if I visit Japan, to be fair. The stamp set, again, you can see how beautiful they've stamped out, and this particular one is Submersible Secrets. They are beautiful photopolymer stamps. They stamp absolutely beautiful. So that's that set. And then this next one, I love this because you've got that turtle there. You've got that beautiful, what's he called? Seahorse. Got that beautiful seahorse, mechanical seahorse, because this is Coral Reef with a very steampunk effect. So that one adds mechanical marine. So, as always, we've got the 6x6 texture deluxe. I've got my vellum one here somewhere. Let me find it. It's here somewhere. 6x6, 6x6. I appear to have lost it. We will find it. We will find it, don't worry. But again, you get the 6x6 vellum, you get the 6x6 deluxe. And again, can you see the texture? I mean, if I just rub it, you can hear the texture that's on these. So you've got that very steampunk, rustic look going on these with those blues and those corals and yeah, all the clocks and the cogs. Look when it catches the light. You are so lucky to have this stuff, Michelle. I am very lucky. I count myself very lucky that I. So, you know, so I was explaining earlier, was with CiaoBella on their design team, left to get to work with Crafters Companion, and then I left air quotes, Crafters Companion in February. And sat on my laurels for about a month, really wanting to message Luana and say, because when I left, she says to me, she says, anytime you want to come back, let us know. She says, and we'd love to have you. So I messaged her. And yes, very lucky to be taken back and getting to play with all the goodies, definitely. Your fussy cut pad in the 6x6, very much the same as all the others. You've got those lovely elements on one side for fussy cutting, but then you've got the beautiful, look at that, and then you've got the beautiful backgrounds. I love this one. I think if you've got like some of your patinas and your sort of paste and things like that, you can get that kind of effect, you know, with your texture paste and things like that. If you're very much like me and aren't a whiz at the mixed media, then these paper pads are absolutely perfect for that, because you are getting that kind of effect without having to use all those pastes and things like that. So you've sort of got the best for both worlds in this, definitely. Just the crabs with the little scary claws with all the cogs. Yes, crabs are up there with butterflies, definitely. But the backs, the back of them are absolutely gorgeous. The turtle, the lighthouse, and again, beautiful backing papers. That is the portal, isn't it? And then you've got the corals and things like that. Again, cogs, clocks, the wheels, keys are beautiful. So the keys for this collection, again, in that rustic steampunk effect, are brilliant. But then you go to the flower shop collection and you can have, you know, beautiful white and silvers and your keys. A key just works with absolutely everything. So that's your 6x6s. Again, we've got the 8x8 paper pad. We won't go through that because I'll go through the 12x12 instead. The shimmer effect, it's absolutely stunning. It's even better in person. So what you get to see, you know, through my camera, it's just so much better. June, hi, I just saw your name peeking up there. Lovely to have you here. Creative pad, I love this because there is something for everyone. There's just your big elements that you are going to just cut out and pop on a card, but then you've got your smaller ones, then you've got your backgrounds, and again you've got larger cuttable elements. Very simple to cut out these ones. Beautiful backgrounds, just look at that. And again, so I've been playing with this one. You can see that I've cut some out to make my card with. Lots of diary notes, journals, lots of text on there as well. Let the sea set you free. I love this one. Look at the little sailor's hat on. It's like a metal man, isn't he? He's literally got a little face there. It's just the most adorable little piece in there. Absolutely. And again, flipping over, just jam-packed full of elements that you can be creating with, definitely. And then we're on to the A4 vellum and the A4, can you hear that? Deluxe. So let's open these up. I've got to say, when I'm watching Create and Craft and, or whatever, and they're going through the paper pads, it's got to be my favourite bit, getting to see everything. So I'm trying to go fast enough, but not too fast. So if I've skipped over something, can you want me to go back so you can have a better look? Just let me know and I will do. Your plain piece of vellum as always, and then those keys. And you can see, well, you can't because I can't find my A6 vellum pad, but there's different elements in your A6. A6? 6x6. Look at this one. It's just absolutely beautiful. You've got the little steampunk. I've just remembered his name and forgot it again, all in a split second. That is seahorse. Your little steampunk seahorse, your little steampunk fish. It is just your little starfish there. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And then this one again. Your vellums, go through these because your A4s are different to your 6x6s. So pop that there. Turn those round. And straight away, look how the light grabs this. Now, when I was first with CiaoBella, they didn't have these. The deluxe papers is something that came in afterwards. They have increased their range of things that they do, and they are just amazing. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? Absolutely. Am I right way up? Yes, that's the right way up. Just as you can't not, even when you move your head or anything, just how it catches the light. That's a piece that I've cut up and used. So pop that to the side. It's there. I was looking for that, wasn't I? So your 6x6 vellum pads tend to have lots of fussy cut elements, where your A4 vellum has got more background pieces in. Look how beautiful it is. Just beautiful. I love this one. So can you see this one here? That writing, that text, that font, it reminds me of, did anyone watch that series that was on, was it called Fallout? It was based on the game, the computer game. It's very, very much like that. Absolutely love it. It's very much in the 60s, what they thought the future would be, isn't it? Very much 60s steampunk ideas. But look at this. This is just, I'll show you it in the paper pad because it's gorgeous. So patterns pad first, and then we'll do the paper pad. So elegant. It really is, even though it's steampunk and even though you've got that very rustic effect going on, it is still very elegant. It's just speechless, and there's not much leaves me speechless, as you all know, but it's just beautiful, isn't it? So straight away, you've got 3 toppers for your cards there. Turning it over. Can you remember when I said they've all got the fonts, or they've all got the alphabet with a different font that matches the collection? So you can see here that, again, it's very different to the last 2. It works absolutely perfectly for this collection. Oh, Louise did a page, a layout with this when she was on Create and Craft. I'm pretty sure it was this one because I'm sure she cut the center out and placed it on different papers to bring, again, on black. It brings you black out, a bit of craft card. Again, it makes something different pop. Loving the background. Absolutely gorgeous. Again, the papers with those little steampunk fish and starfish. The back is just beautiful. You've got 2 lovely borders here. Lots of tags. They're just, I know I keep saying it, But you know, when you're going through the paper pad and it takes you half an hour to decide on which piece you want to use because you want to use it, but you don't want to cut into it. But you know you need to use it because it's going to look even more beautiful on your project. And you have that lovely back and forth argument with yourself. These collections have been that for me this week, definitely. So again, each one is absolutely so different to the other one. It's not as if you're getting a pack of very similar papers. There's just so much different in there. Look at this one. And there you go. So this is the patterns pad, and then we're on to the paper pad. So this is the last bit, and then I think we'll have a bit of a play. Again, straight away, you have got a huge piece here with that lovely lighthouse on there. 4 smaller toppers to mat and layer up. Turn that over, and again, it's just every ounce, every piece of this is gorgeous. The fish, it is just stunning. And when you look at it, every time you look at it, you are going to see something different. You've got some lovely text coming through here. You've got a map there. You've got that crackle glaze area. You've got all the coral. You've got this bit that looks like, you know, whatever wall has been painted, the paint's chipping away and underneath is coming through. There's so much depth and so much texture on these. It is just gorgeous. So I love this. I love this little corner bit. So if you're wanting, again, to make smaller cards, you've got a perfect piece here that you can cut away. Beautiful. In one drop of the water, I found all the secrets of all the oceans. I love that. So turning it over, again, all that almost paint peel. Do you know what it reminds me of? You know, when you've I don't know if any of you have ever done it, but when you're decorating and you're peeling, you can get those heat guns to peel the paint off your woodwork, and it sort of goes like that, doesn't it? As it's heating and bubbling and coming off. So that's what that reminds me of. Again, you've got that lovely seahorse. I remembered his name this time. I remembered what he was. I will forget though straight away. Again, on the back is beautiful. That text, that font, again there, that reminded me of that TV show that's just been on. And again, this is very much someone who is into their cars or their motorbikes. It very much reminds me of something like that. You've got the gas pump or the petrol pump here, haven't you? Look how beautiful that is. It's just so deep and decadent. If that's not a word, it is now. And then we'll turn that over, and again, you've got lots of lovely text and so much going on. Lots of fussy cutting elements because, you know, as a scrapbooking paper pad, you're always going to get those in there. But again, if you are a card maker, you have got just a beautiful background. But I always hate when people say, oh, that's a scrapbooking collection and I'm a card maker, or because it's just paper. It's just beautiful paper and you can use it for absolutely anything. Just this, each page, I can sort of envisage a different person in my life who it would be absolutely perfect for, because they're all so different. Nearly there. Look. I'm hoping you're liking it, Gaz. Let me know. And then that back page, I think, has got to be my absolute all-time favourite. That is just absolutely beautiful. Really, really gorgeous. So I'm going to pop all those to the side because we've gone through all 3 collections. You have to let me know in the comments which is your favourite. I can't decide at all. That is way too hard a question for me to answer. But I'm going to bring, so this is the card that we're going to make. So I use that Flower Shop collection. I've kept it nice and simple on the front because when you open it up, you've got that pop out element. So can you see when you close it, it goes flat. But when you open it up, you've got some lovely height on there. This is a card that you're going to stand like that. So besides the fact that I think it looks lovely, you're just going to play with it, opening and closing. So again, so I use the Flower Shop. We've done a 6x6 card base. Now this bit in the middle is not from the collection. Actually, Gaz inspired me to do this because so it's the Joseph's, is it called the Joseph's coat? I always want to call it that. Yes. Joseph's coat. So basically what you do is you ink up a background in multiple colours, hence Joseph and his Technicolor Dream coats. Lots of different colours. And then what you will do is you will get your clear embossing ink. So I use my Versamark one. And you will stamp onto it. You will heat set it with your heat embossing powder. And then you will ink over the top. I just used a blue to match in with the blue that I've used. I left it a little bit cloudy because that's the look I was going for. But normally you would do sort of a solid black over the top. And then when you rub away the ink off of that heat embossed area, it shows that rainbow through. So can you see how it comes through? So I did the faux kissing technique as well, which is just that text that you can see coming through. I added that as well. So I'll do a little video on that to show you how to do it. It's so simple, but it looks just so beautiful. And I used sort of some pastel colours to match the collection that I've used. So let's pop that to the side. And then I will bring in all my elements. And I'm quite, look at me. Look how organised I am. So I've got some metal elements there. I've got all my bits that I've got cut out and everything. So let's try and keep some sort of order with this. It might not work, but we can try, can't we? So I've tried to keep all the elements for the front and then for the middle all together, so I sort of know what I'm doing and where I'm going. So I've got two pieces of card. One's a 6x6, one's 6.5x6. I'm just going to make my own card base. I didn't have any 6x6 cards, and to be honest, I tend to make my own bases more often than not because it means you can use all of the card stock that you've got in your sort of stash. So then firstly, all I need to do is just score this at 6 inches, and then it gives me the tab just to fix my card together. So let me just give that a good burnish. And then I'll bring in my tacky glue. Put my pin up there so I don't lose it. So the only thing about craft card is it likes to soak up your glue, and it takes just a little bit longer than normal card to grab and go off. So let's just give that a good burnish. Elgaz, love it all. Yeah, it's too hard to decide, isn't it? And the thing is, I suppose with all the different people that we want to make for this release this time, covers everything between the ones who love the flowers. You know, in fact, Mother's Day is coming up in the US, isn't it? So the Flower Shop would be beautiful for that. Unless your mum is into something steampunky. And then she's obviously going to love the Coral Reef. So from the Coral Reef to the Flower Shop to the Japanese one, I mean, you've got it all covered, really, haven't you? Handcrafted by Gaz. I feel as though I will just have to live vicariously through you. Right. So that's just my 6x6 base. I'm just going to find, I don't know how I'm going to find it in all this paper, but it is here somewhere. Here it is. Nope, not there. I've wrote my sizes down so I don't tell you I'm wrong, but it's gone. Just bear with me. So all my stamps and stencils are there. You talk amongst yourselves just for a minute while I find my piece of paper that I'm looking for. How is it so? How can I lose something so easily? It was literally just here. Guys, you'd be so shocked because I know that you're very neat and tidy and I'm not. So you would be shocked at the state of my desk. And all I've done is I've got all sorts of instructions here, except for the ones that I'm looking for. But yes, guys, you would be absolutely shocked. Don't know why I'm looking under there. Ooh, but these are some of my older CiaoBella rice papers, which I've still got. Right, so let me start again. I keep going from one side. There it is. I just needed to turn my piece of paper over. Honest. You wouldn't think it was so hard, would you? Right, so to make that lovely mechanism inside my card that allows this to happen, you need 2 pieces of card. You need one that is 10 1/4 inches long by 1.5 inches wide. And then we are going to score at 1 inch. So we're going to score at 1 inch here, then 5 3/4, and then 7 1/4. Make sure I get right in there. And then we are at 8 1/4, and then 9 3/4. So there we go. And then I don't need to score that one at all. So let's pop that back down there. And this piece is 2 inches by, well, it's not quite 6 inches because my card is six inches high. This is going to sort of go in here, but I've cut it 1/4 inch shorter because I'm going to pop some strips of pattern paper across the top and bottom. This is going to be hidden under it. It'll all come clear in a minute. So I didn't want it going right to the edge at the top and the bottom because it would be too much bulk. So I've cut it just a little bit shorter. And then when I've got my paper going across, I ain't got lots of bulk. So when you're looking from the top down on the card, there's not lots of bulk there. So this, all we're going to do, so that 1 inch piece there, and again, if I open this for you, so you can see where we're going, it goes here. Can you see? So that one inch piece there, folding it over, and it's going to glue on this side, and it's going to be buttered up to the middle of the card. Okay, so straight away, that's how that piece is going to look. And then we're going to fold this over, fold that over the same way, all mountains. So can you see? You've got, let me fold that last piece over, and you've got, pop it down. You've got this. That's the tag that's going to stick on this side. That's the long lever. And those are the 3 pieces that you can see that are stood up. You see? So we're going to find the middle of this card. So I'm going to turn mine round because I always tend to use the measurements on my glass mat to be able to find the middle. Let's find the glue. In fact, I'll turn it the right way, make it easier for you to see exactly what I'm doing. This tab here, holding it all facing up, we're going to pop glue on this tab. me bring in my ruler and I'll use that to judge the 3 inches. So I'm going to pop that there and give it a good burnish. So it will lay that way. If it lays that way, you're absolutely correct, because what we're going to do is we're going to fold it over. So again, if I bring this one in, you can see how we sort of go in. And then fold that one up, because that's going to sit like that. You see? That's going to sit. It's not going to glue to here, but that's how it's going to sit, because we're going to bring this piece in. And this piece we're just going to glue at the top and at the bottom, but this tab here is going to glue to the edge of this. So if I pop that there, and what you can then see is exactly the same as the card that you've just seen me create. So again, I'm going to bring this one in, because what you want to do is this piece here, it needs to be glued. In fact, I do have one that, let me bring that way. So this was my little, this was my piece that I used to, it took me so long to figure out the measurements for this. So this is the one that I initially used. So from the middle, this needs to be glued roughly. So what have I done? 1.5 to 2 inches. So the easiest way to figure out where that needs to go is we're going to glue this to here. So hold this straight. Don't glue it down yet. Hold it straight. Pop your glue just on that tab, because the tab is going to tuck underneath, and we're going to glue it just to the edge. Now I know I'm going to be gluing it in the middle if I follow this. So just tuck it underneath and glue it on there. So just going to give that just a second to grab. She says letting go of it. It is a CC ruler in inches. I don't know where I got it from because they're all in centimetres, aren't they? I ordered one and the inches wouldn't come. So all I can say is they got my order mixed up, because they normally come in centimetres here in the UK, don't they? So let me just hide that. Oh, and actually, hi, Hannah. I'm glad you could make it. Right, so what we've got at the minute is this. This piece isn't glued down at all. What we're going to do is, can you see how it works? So if I'm holding this here, you can see how it works. Okay, so when I fold that closed, there you go. So it's going to fold closed. So now, if I stand that up for you, can you see that it's gone exactly where it wants to go? And it is, for this one, it is 1.75 inches. So using my mat here, and the reason that I just wanted to double check on where this one went is because I only cut this one 1.5 inches wide, and I've cut this one 2 inches wide. So I'm going to flip it back over. I'm just going to add a strip of glue here and a strip of glue there. There's no particular depth down, just don't need to go too close to here, this band, because this isn't going to move underneath if you glue too far up. So there we go. So using my glass mat as a judge, we're going to go to that 1 3/4. I'm just going to pop that down. You can see that this is where it needs to be. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to close it. Because if if my band needs to move a little bit, it'll do it now before the glue has grabbed and gone off. So now I know it's exactly where I need it to be. I'm just going to turn it round. I'm going to burnish it so that glue and my strip of card doesn't move at all. So let me move that. And then what you have got is you've got that lovely mechanism. And you can see as I close my card, it goes flat. As I open it, it pops up. So that is as easy as that is. And I've done it so my card will open all the way. So if you want to right in the middle, you absolutely can. If I'd have altered where I've put this or made this a little bit shorter, my card wouldn't open fully. So I've made sure that I've done it so it opens fully. So there you go. You've got a lovely pop-up mechanism, which is easy as that. So then now what we're going to do is we're going to decorate. We're going to do the fun bit. Oh, Stephanie, hi. It's good to sort of see you. I'm glad you made it, definitely. Hi, further up, I did apologise for being late and blamed Gaz for not telling me. What papers are you using? I'm awaiting. Oh, I'm using the Coral Reef papers. So that is what I'm using for this card, Hannah. Those Coral Reef papers are just absolutely to die for, aren't they? Right, so I've got my lovely 6x6 card. Folds absolutely perfectly flat for posting, and then you've got that lovely pop-up element. So then what we're going to do is I'm going to decorate the insides or front first. It doesn't really matter. In fact, I'm going to put my hot glue gun on because I haven't plugged it in. Because I've just got some, I'm not throwing everything about at all, but I've got some metal elements that I want to stick on. So let me just, oh, my plug was so far away. Right, I've plugged my hot glue gun in because I've got some metal elements that I want to go on there. Right. I'm going to do the insides first. So what I've got is this. So I just had it, haven't I? Here it is. I used one of my die sets to cut this out. So this is what's going to go on here. So I've just cut a piece of white card because this deluxe is quite thin. It's a paper. So we're going to pop that down like that. I used a smaller one to, let's glue it down first. So it's a deluxe paper, but you can still use all of your normal glues on this. Your tape pens, anything like that, or any of your tacky glues. So I'm going to pop that straight down. I don't want no shadow or anything coming through. The white was just cut to give that some strength. So I used one of my, obviously that size, and then the next size down to cut that one. And then what I did was I just, no particular rhyme or reason, I was just roughly picked one. I wanted to create a sort of smaller border. Let me find my pokey tool. Did I just have it? Where's it? I literally, Gaz, come and help me, please. I can't find anything. Right, pokey tool, because I want to get that one off, don't I? So again, just picked two. That's going to give me a nice border. And then I used it on the beautiful deluxe paper as well. So we've got a border going round of the deluxe paper. And then about an inch in, I've got another border going round. So let's glue those down. Thank you for blaming me, Hannah. I love you, dear. That's a running theme, Gaz, because I tend to blame you for stuff as well. Obviously in the nicest possible way. So pop that down. Make sure I've got it right in the middle. And again, because it's a deluxe paper and it has got sort of a coating on, I am going to use my tacky glue on that. And I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to give it a good burnish. Allow that glue to really go off and grab. Oops. There we go. And then this, again, it's just almost like another border. But what it does, it gives me that lovely real focal point on that middle part of that image. And again, it's just a nice other way to play about with shapes rather than just matting and layering up onto your project. So it's moving every time I try to add a bit of glue to it. There we go. So line this up without getting glue everywhere. There we go. And it almost looks like I've just cut out multiple. There we go. A light hitting it. You couldn't quite see it, could you? Looks like I've cut out multiple sizes, but I haven't. I've just created that border in the middle. Now that is what's going to go on my pop-up element. I'm not going to glue that on yet because we're going to glue these backing pages first. And just pop that over there. So what I've got is, now I was thinking about just popping that on here. So this particular one, it is 4 inches by 5.5. Now I was thinking of just popping that on there, and then I had a little bit of a play, and I was thinking of popping that one under there, obviously cutting it down a little bit, and that there, but it felt a little bit busy, it felt a little bit lost. So what I'm going to do is I've just got some, it's like navy blue, is it? A royal blue. So I just got some of that, and I've got the tiniest border all the way round. And now when I pop it down, it doesn't feel like it's getting lost. Do you see what I mean? So there, it's quite all the same sort of tone, but adding just that tiny little pop of blue, it makes it stand out a little bit more for me. So I'm going to glue this onto here. And then before I glue it into my card, we will have a play about with those two little elements that I want to pop under. So there we go. Just wiggle that over. And it's literally the tiniest border that I want. And I'm going to pop it right up to here because it almost makes that blend in and not look like a mechanism that's sat there. Right, so this piece, I'm going to pop that under there and have it so it's coming like an L shape. Now I could cut some of that away so I'm not wasting a lot of it, but to be honest, it's only a little corner that I've got sort of there anyway. So we're going to pop this here. Again, let's glue this down. Can you hear the you can hear the texture of it when I pop the glue on, can't you? So pop that on there. And then before I give it a good squish down, I'm going to bring that back in. I just need to bring that down just a little bit more. There we go. Oh, I'm really happy with that. So these deluxe papers, having little pops of them everywhere is just absolutely, it's just beautiful. You don't need to use lots. It's definitely, which is very alien to me, a less is more thing. So you've got that lovely pop. It's absolutely beautiful. You've got the lovely pop of it on there as well. It really elevates what you're creating. And then there was this piece as well, wasn't there? So let me trim that down because it's not going to sit quite under. And then what you want at the top, or what I want at the top, is almost like an L shape again. And just so bring that back in, lift that up, and it just starts to come together. So let's glue that down. There we go. And I was about there, wasn't I? Yeah, that'll do. Handcrafted by Gaz, what can I do? What have I missed? Is it because we're all blaming you? Stephanie, hi Gaz. Gaz, I'm in post nights mode. I don't, do you know, you guys who do nights, things like that, I take my hat off to you because I absolutely would be rubbish at anything like that. I like a good 12 to 14 hours sleep per night. All right, maybe not so much, but I've always been the same since I was a baby. My mum said that even as a baby, I was impossible to wake up and just slept so much. So just making sure that I haven't pushed that too far, that it's going to interfere with my mechanism. No, it's not. So I'm quite happy with that. And then here and here, I'm going to have two sort of strips. Now, again, I had just some of the pattern paper cut and then some of that beautiful deluxe. And I was going to pop that on there. But I thought I've got the blue there now. So if I add this, it's going to allow it to pop even more. So with the blue, it just adds something. So all three of these pieces I have cut to 5 3/4. I know my card is 6 inches wide, but I've cut them to 5 3/4. So I can just have a little bit there and a little bit there. But again, what it also means is I haven't got 3 layers of card right up to the crease or the fold in my card, which is going to affect it folding closed. So I just cut it down a little bit, just so I've got that tiny little border on both sides. And I've got one at top and bottom. So we will glue all these together. So the only thing I will say about the deluxe paper, it's quite delicate if you're trying to put it on your paper trimmer and trim it up, because it's quite delicate. So if you're cutting it that way, just be careful that when you go up with your blade, you know, when your blade starts to go a little bit blunt, I can't think of the word, and it feathers your paper, and sometimes it sort of gathers it all up into a lump. Because this paper's sort of so delicate, it can do that. So just be careful when you're cutting it. So we have got 2 inches by 5 6/8. And both of these, all 3 slices of paper are all 5 6/8 wide. And I've gone down a tiny slither from the blue to the pattern. And then from the pattern to the deluxe, I've gone down 1/4 of an inch. But you just have a play about with it, see what kind of border that you want around yours. There wasn't really a measurement from this one to this one. I just cut a tiny slither off. So again, let's glue this up. Only meant, what can I do to help? Oh, Gaz, if only you lived round the corner, you could be my little assistant. That sounded really derogatory, didn't it? I meant that in the nicest possible way. Could you imagine though, Gaz, if you lived round the corner? Stephanie, so Michelle, how are you doing? Oh, miss you lots. I miss you guys too. I'm not doing too bad, thank you. I've been able to just lose myself in crafting, just crafting things that I enjoy doing with the papers that I love. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved working at Crafters, but we was given products and we had to make certain things. Now I can sit in my craft room and just look at whatever I want and think, right, I'm going to use that one. So it's almost liberating, almost freeing. So yes, thank you. I'm not doing too bad at all. So those two are going to go there. Suzette, hi. Hi, Suzette. How are you doing? And that's going to pop on there. So we'll glue these two down first. I do miss you guys terribly, though. It's funny, you wouldn't think, because obviously we've never met, so you wouldn't think that you could miss someone as much, but I think when I was in your ears as much as I was, and then now I'm not. There we go. Laurie, I'm so glad you're happy and able to do what you want. Yes. Yeah, it's just, there was time restrictions as well. The shows only lasted so long, and our projects had to be quite quick and simple. So it's nice to be able to go through something like this from the start and not have to rush, and things like that. So again, it's 6 of one and half a dozen of another, isn't it? I loved it, and I loved them saying, right, this is what you've got, create something fabulous. But now it can take me so much longer and it doesn't matter. So I miss you so much at Crafters. Not the same. I know. It's apparently it's all change up there now. Lots of different things going on, isn't there? So I keep popping that there because I'm deciding if I want to add any embellishments to it or anything like that. On my other one, I added some flowers round there. I think I might have some cogs or something. So I might pop some of those on. But I feel like you don't need it because you've got that beautiful pop of that deluxe paper. So you don't necessarily need lots of sort of bits and bobs and embellishments and stuff on. I'm going to pop those two there. The only problem is with this deluxe paper, because of the way the camera's catching it, you don't really, it's a bit weird, isn't it? It's like when I was on TV, we couldn't wear dots and stripes and things like that because it made the camera go crazy. And this deluxe paper is a little bit like that. So these are just 2 little ripped pieces of that deluxe paper. And again, I've popped them there because I do have the here, look. I mean, you can cut some little sentiments from, some of the pads, but I've got these and I'm going to take a couple and I'm just going to pop it on there. And it's almost like a matte and layer. So then all we need to do now is glue this up because I think I'm quite happy with the middle. So spread that. And then I'm going to pop that on there. Judging, I mean, I'm not going to put my head over because you don't want to, I've got lots of grey hairs coming through, so you don't want to be seeing that. But judge that it's, sort of equally from the top and the bottom. Give it a bit of a press down and bring that over gently, and then you can give it a nice burnish. You bring it over gently, and it means that you your top is not going to move. There you go, look. So can you see you've got lots of height? I mean, mine's 1.5 inches. You could do that particular measurement shorter if you wanted, at just 1 inch. But I did mine at 1.5 inches because, you know, it's a pop out, don't you? I love this card. Thank you guys. But how simple is it to put together? It looks beautiful. So I'm quite happy with the middle for now. We're going to go to the front. And again, I've got everything stuck with paper clips. Right, is everyone really proud of me that I remembered what they were called first time? Because I'm very proud of myself. It is a lovely interactive card, a nice and simple one, but whoever you gift it to is absolutely going to adore it. And they're going to be looking and they're going to be like, you're so clever. And we do like that when people say that to us, don't we? So I've got, again, that blue textured cardstock because it ties in beautifully. I've gone down, so this I've gone down 1/4 inch. So we've got 6 by 6. This is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Now this isn't. Obviously, it's not because I've got a little border. It is fat. So I've just gone down 1/8 inch on both sides. So this is going to be 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. So to get that thinner border. So that is going to go on there. And then we'll glue these 2 pieces together first. And then we'll have a bit of a play about with the composition of some of those elements that I've cut out. Anyone who's into ASMR is going to love that. I, however, am not. My daughter has taken to showing me lots of these, you know, the ASMR, but there's lots of crafty people have been doing it. So she's been showing me craft videos that she's been thinking I'm going to be loving, but because there's lots of tapping and stroking and scratching, it's definitely not for me. I think she's doing it on purpose, though, as all our 16-year-olds do. That's great, Michelle. Thank you, Stephanie. You have been able to find your peaceful place. Yes, definitely. I'm struggling to read your comments because I've got my wire and it's going across my camera wire that's above me. Is the wire's going across, but it's going across the front of my screen, just across where the comments are. So until they get a bit higher, I can't quite read them. Guys, oh, Michelle, you need a glue press. They are so cool. Is that the thing that you was using on your live, that you put your glue bottle in and squeezed it like a gun? I think that might be what you're meaning. Right, so I've got my front, I've got my blue, my lovely deluxe. This is one of, again, that I cut from the A4 pad. I thought it was just absolutely gorgeous. And again, I just cut that out, and I've got the tiny sliver of blue going through, because if I pop that on there, it blends in. But if I add that tiny little border of blue around, it just allows it, you can see it. It just allows it to stand out a little bit more. Oh, Laurie, you're having issues with sound. Is it just Laurie, or is anyone else having any issues? Hopefully, that sounds awful. Hopefully it's just you. I mean, hopefully it's not a me issue, and maybe just logging back off or coming out and going back in helps sometimes. Elgaz, no problem here. Stephanie, I hear you perfectly. Kirsty, my sound is fine. Oh, brilliant. Obviously, it's not brilliant for who was having Laurie. not brilliant for Laurie. There we go. So I'm going to pop that there. And it was almost like that topper was perfectly made for this card. And that is the one that I was telling you about with that beautiful rat. It's just little things like that. That font is absolutely gorgeous and I love it. So I've cut that one out. And again, I've cut a piece of blue out. But this time I've got a tiny little border just at the top and just at the bottom, not at the sides. Because it's going to sort of overlap there. And I didn't want that pop of blue over there. I don't feel it needed to be over on the sides as well. Again, it's just all about how something looks for you. If you want a blue border all the way around, if you don't want a border, it's about having a play with the blue, without the blue, before you commit to gluing it down. So I'm thinking we're going to be popping that sort of roughly there. And then I've got this lovely, that is the hatch, isn't it? But this one's got, unlike a submarine hatch, but this one's got a lovely clock behind it. And then I'm not even sure what that's for. It might be for something, it might not be. And I've got some of this. So this is like cheesecloth. So I've got this, and sometimes it depends what you're doing. Sometimes it's nice to just take lots of the fibres, get that bit of paper away, and sort of just tuck them behind. I don't know if you can see it. Let me lift. There you go. Just tuck them behind. I think when it's a card and it's a little bit like this, and I feel it's more masculine. Obviously, the things that I'm going to put on are not really decorative. They're not going to be feathers. They're not going to be, I don't know, pretty elements. They're going to be something a little bit more rough and ready. So I've got the cheesecloth, so I can either pop that on there and bring that in front, and you've got it. It looks lovely. Or you can just use some of those rough bits. And then deciding on if I'm going to tuck, I am going to tuck that underneath there because I quite like that. So once you're quite happy with your composition, then, go into glue. I've got some corners, just some metal corners that we use for box making, things like that. I'm going to pop those on the corner as well. I have this as well. I found that in my stash. It's just almost like a coin or something. And I thought, actually, it looks really nice. Just that little bit of metal work. So we're going to pop that on as well. Hence why I had to put my glue gun on. So let's glue this down in place. There we go. So I've almost got an equal border all the way around with this particular one. I missed the beginning and we'll go back, but this paper is a bundle. Oh, I did. So we went through all three. I showed you the flower shop. I showed you the Land of the Rising Sun. That one is beautiful. And then we went through the Coral Reef. So yes, go back and have a look because we went through everything. The deluxe papers, the vellums, the 12 by 12s, the creative pads, because there's just so much in all of them. So we're gonna, I think we're gonna commit with the cheesecloth. So I'm just gonna sort of screw it up behind this one. So I can either pop it on there and do it, or what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this particular piece over. I'm gonna add hot glue just down there, and then just sort of scrunch it up behind, because then from the front you're not seeing any of that sort of mess. And then just pop a bit of hot glue across, And again, doing the same, scrunching it up. It's not something that you want on nice and flat. It's giving you lots of nice texture, things like that. So let me give that another burnish. It's just going to take longer to grab to the deluxe paper than it would if it was just normal paper. So then we're going to pop that on there. Just like that. If you've popped it on, if you've put your cheesecloth on, or if you've got some chiffon ribbon or some scruffy ribbon, but you know what I mean, and you've got it poking out too much, just tuck it under a little bit more. So I'm going to pop hot glue all along this one, and then I'm going to fix that down. And I'm not going to press it down too flat because I want that bit of height on there. And then I'm going to tuck this under. I'm going to cut it in half so I can keep half for later, because you're not going to see it all anyway. I'm going to tuck that under there just like that. Do I like that? Do I want it a bit further across? No, I'm quite happy with that. So let's tuck that just under there. There we go. And then we'll pop these corners on. There we go. And that could press down. And then this corner. Michelle, voice sounds beautiful now, just need a reboot. Are you talking about I need a reboot? There we go, so just pressing that down. Well, my daughter would really tell me off for laughing at my own jokes. Those corners just add something, just a little bit of, again, it's the steampunk, isn't it? It's all the metal embellishments and things like that. So I'm going to pop this just on the corner there with a bit of hot glue. And hold that down. And then this particular piece, because it's the other side, you can build your texture up, build those layers up. It's in fact, I could put both of them there if I wanted. Do we think that looks better with both or just one? I'm not sure. But that's the fit, that's the fun. I love this. I love these collections because you can really do that. Even if you're not brilliant at fussy cutting, the bit that you've maybe mucked up, you can be tucking behind something or underneath, and you're not going to see it. So it's really just not bad at all. I think I'm going to leave it like that because I'm quite happy with that. So you've got all that deluxe still popping through. You've got all those lovely mats and layers. And then when you open it up, you've got that beautiful, oh, we needed to pop something on there, didn't we? Got that beautiful popping element. I love these. I think I got these off of Amazon. And I don't know what, I was definitely searching for something else and I came across these. But Tim Holtz does things like this, doesn't he? That's all mine says, small talk stickers. So I'm not even sure what they were, but I loved them because there's some really lovely sentiments. I mean, there's just an I love you there, but then this one says, forever is composed of nows, embrace beautiful chaos. That one is so going on there because I'm all about the chaos. So I'm going to trim it in two. So I've cut the embrace off, and can you see how I've angled just both sides? I'm going to pop that on there, and I'm going to do the same with this one. We're just going to wedge that edge. Oh, I rhymed. I became Dr. Zeus. And pop that on there. And then you've got embrace beautiful chaos. And then that's it. So this mechanism, I could have done it in the matching papers. It would have had to, I would have had to have matte and layered it up because the paper is too thin to be the mechanism. It needs the weight of a card stock to be that mechanism. You could ink it up. You've got the stencils in the collection that you could add to it if you wanted to. Anything like that. But that is just how nice and simple it is. And then how beautiful it looks with those beautiful, or with that beautiful collection. So let me see if I've missed any messages. Oh, you're all saying that the sound's good. That's good. Oh, my phone is being wonky. That's good that it wasn't me. That's okay, Michelle. I struggle to read every day. Stephanie, thank you for that. All good in New Jersey. Oh, that's good. Beautiful, gorgeous. Thank you very much. So the only other thing what I really wanted to show you is to make a masterboard. So I'm going to pop that to the side. I'm just going to grab a piece of white. Normally, I use a full A4 sheet. If you've got lots of elements, use a 12 by 12. It's entirely up to you. But what I love about a masterboard is, so a masterboard is literally all of your bits that you have got left over from a particular collection. Don't get rid of them. Don't put them in that bit box and never use them, because we do that. We've all got that drawer or that box where we put all those bits because they're too beautiful to throw away. I'm going to hiccup. I always get hiccups when I talk a lot. So you can imagine how often I suffer with hiccups. Right. Yes, so we've all got that bit box that we've got the beautiful offcuts in that we never use. So creating a masterboard is absolutely the best thing to do. But what it also means is when you've got a collection like this, so let me bring in, I did have a offcut of this, but no, oh, they're there, look. So the beauty of creating a masterboard, when you've got a collection like this, where you've got all these deluxe papers and vellums and all the different patterns and things like that, it is totally different to any kind of normal masterboard. Because I'm just going to try and find, there we are, some couple of different sheets, different colours. I know I should tidy away, I really should, but I haven't. So bringing in a few different colours. Masterboard, all those scraps. Don't cut them up. Don't have your lines nice and straight. What the fudge is a masterboard? So literally a masterboard is, get your piece of white card, black card, just whatever card. If you've used a piece of card and you've been inking on it, or you've been gluing on it or anything like that, and you don't want to throw it away, use that because it's all going to be covered up. What we're going to do, you're going to get all of your scraps, all of your offcuts, all those, even all those teeny tiny little bits that they're good for nothing. We're just going to glue them down, and we're going to create a masterboard of offcuts. So I obviously am not going to create a full A4 piece of card or a masterboard. But the beauty of it is you're going to have all sorts of different shapes. And I always think they look nicer with all the torn edges. If you want to cut all your edges straight, then absolutely. It's entirely up to you. And you're just going to build up a background. That's it. We're going to build up a background of, let me bring in another piece. Let's bring in a darker piece. That's not darker, is it? And this one is. So let's rip a nice big piece. Nice odd shapes. There we go. and we're going to just build it up. You're going to overlap them a little bit. I don't like to see any of my card on the back coming through. So I like to cover it all up. And then let's bring in this. We're going to rip some of this. Rip all those edges. I mean, to be honest, if you know that a particular edge is going to be tucked underneath something, then, you know, you don't need to rip it. But the fun is you don't necessarily need to do a masterboard in one sitting. You can be creating a card like I just have done, and then all those little bits, add them to your masterboard. And then, you know, tomorrow when you're doing something else, all those little bits, add them to your masterboard. And then at the end of the week, you've got a full masterboard or a finished masterboard. And then you can go ahead and use it. And what you're going to use it at is just as a piece of, as if you would any normal piece of card or paper. You're going to cut it up. You're going to cut your 6x6 background piece, or you're going to cut a topper off of it. Whatever you would, get a normal patterned piece of paper out of your stash for. You're going to use this instead. And it's almost like, you know, the basket weave effects that I've done before, where you take all your strips and you create the basket weave effects. This is different. This is all those torn little bits that you can create or use and create. And it's really a lot of fun. Hannah, 5 minutes ago, the word masterboard had no meaning. Then you gave it meaning. Then you said it so many times, it's now. It happens, doesn't it? I say it so many times, it's like, right, enough already. So, but you see how you can just build it up. You can find little bits to fill in all of those spaces. If you haven't got a bit to fill in that space for the minute, then leave it. And by the end of the week, or if you're making an album and you're using the same papers, you know, getting all those little bits, it looks fabulous. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's something I don't do as often. I do have my little box of bits that I don't necessarily or haven't necessarily used like I should do. So this little bit that I'm not necessarily going to use again can go on there as well. So all those toppers, all those fussy cutting elements that you're not necessarily going to use if you're not a fan of fussy cutting, absolutely can use on these, because you can just rip them out and add them on and they look absolutely fabulous. So I'm just going to add a few more elements here. Let me bring in another different colour. So for instance, we've got this huge little piece in the corner. Just rip round it. It doesn't necessarily matter if you rip a little bit of it off or rip through the image. Because again, it all adds to that huge finished piece. So there we go. Let's pop that one on as well. This is a great idea. Creating a yes, it's like a collage, isn't it? Definitely. Creating a junk. See, now this is exactly it. If you were a junk journaler, these are absolutely perfect for that kind of thing, because it adds to the effect really of junk journaling, doesn't it? So, and again, they don't all have to be the same size, the same shape. You're just ripping all of those bits up. But because you've got vellum, I mean, I know I haven't got no vellum at the minute, but because you've got all those different textures of those different finishes of card, it just, It's one of my favourite things to do. It really is. So you can see how lovely it comes together. And then what's always nice to do, which is entirely up to you. You can or cannot do this. It's up to you. Get lots of your nesting dies. And so those two, in fact, let me run it through. Bear with me. Let me bring in my little Gemini. So pop that to the side. So your nesting dies, get a couple that are, oh, in fact, I've got this one already. So let's use a smaller one. And just to create those borders. So I don't want a full particular shape. I just want the border of a shape. Bring in a bit of tape. Let's tape that in place. And then run it through. So like outlines of shapes. So if you've got love hearts, if you're doing this in particular colours, maybe for Mother's Day, you could be using flowers, Valentine's Day, the love hearts. But this particular, so the border of one, not a full shape. And then we're going to pop that on as well. So I'm going to use that. So you don't have to be consistent with the shapes that you put on either. This particular one, what I will do is when I finish the whole one, I will put lots of this same shape on. I'll use my nesting dies. I'll create lots of different sizes and I will put lots of different, you literally throw it at it and just build it up and build it up. All those fussy cutting elements, lots of your different pages, and then lots of them on top. I've done it in the deluxe. If you want to do it in a colour that's going to pop, so a black or an orange, you absolutely can do. And then what you've got is a beautiful topper. So let me trim that down. So if I get rid of those edges. So that just wasn't quite dry. And then bring this in. What you've then got is a lovely topper there. You could put your sentiment on it. It could have been the piece that you've used there, but because you've got all that element on, and what you can also do, what looks fabulous, if you've got any rice papers, tear those up, put those on as well. You've got your stamps, you've got those stencils. So get the stencil, add some texture paste through, just in random places. Again, it looks gorgeous. It adds so much more depth and dimension and texture. So if I can find one, so my stencil, I can bring this in. And let me just grab a ink pad. So I'll grab this one. So, oh, they do ink pads as well. I'm just going to grab a blending tool. So I'm going to use the Oceana one, and I'm just going to pop that over there. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of ink and randomly, again, this is all about randomness, add little bits of stenciling. If there's a big white bit that you want to cover, or if there's a particular bit that's going to really benefit to some stenciling on there, you're going to be able to do that. If you want to leave some white area as well and cover that up with stenciling, then you absolutely can do. Just lots of little random pieces. I'm off now. I've got 3 million ideas going on in my head. And then you've got the stamps as well. And the stamps, again, you can stamping over your pattern card. You would think would be too much, would be too busy. it's not necessarily going to be. Let's bring in this. Do I have? I do. It's here. So let's bring this in, add a little bit of ink to it. And then, so we could just literally be adding that anywhere you bring in some of your ripped pieces, and you can go around the edges then. You know what I'm going to be doing when we get when we get off the phone, I was going to say, you can, I'm going to be finishing this whole page up, but you can see how you could just have little bits of either the stenciling popping through or on top, or, you know, the stamping popping through, or again on top. Your texture pastes, I've got loads of texture pastes, or if you've got glitter pastes, they always look lovely as well. But it's just something real fun and just a little bit different for all of your offcuts, definitely. So I think I'm done. So it's, do you like the definition? Did I say it enough times? Masterboard. For you. Such a fab idea, Michelle. Thank you. You're welcome. It's just something to do with all those, even all these tiny little pieces that you just don't want to get rid of. You can create a full, huge A4 sheet of totally unique background card that you can then be using to cut up for either your backgrounds or your toppers, entirely up to you. But yeah, definitely it is brilliant for junk journaling, because it just really plays into what a junk journal is, doesn't it? Definitely. Gaz, did you press send before you finished that? It meant nothing, now means something. Yeah. I can't help it. It's, you know how easy it is for me to forget a word. So when I remember a word, I will tell you it 50 times in the hopes that it sticks in my head as well. But yeah, using up your scraps, absolutely brilliant for it. I do like the definition. I will be making some. Yeah, definitely. I mean, even if you've not got any scraps and you want to make one just to create a unique piece of background paper, it's definitely worth it. But I hope you liked the card that I created as well. How easy the pop out element was. It just looks lovely when it's sat on the side. It's nice to pimp up the middle of your card as much as it is the outside of the card, isn't it? And again, it's a lot of fun. When you receive a card that's got all those pop out elements, it's just a lot of fun, isn't it? And when it's such an easy way to do it, definitely. What a clever idea, Donna. I think you mean the Masterboard. Yeah, it is. Yeah, use up all your scraps, definitely. Handcrafted by Gaz. You will have to you'll have to post it and show us if you make some. Definitely. Is my messy desk making your eye twitch, Gaz? This is how I roll. If my desk was tidy, I would not know where anything is. But yeah, so that's me. That is the 3 collections. I do hope you liked them. If you do go on to buy any, you'll have to let me know what you decided to go for. Definitely. But I think we're done. Are we 9 o'clock? We're 9 o'clock already. It really does go by quick, these 2 hours, doesn't it? I love the card. Thank you for sharing all your creations and ideas, Because I love that. Is that really your name? Is B really your name, or is just that like your YouTube handle? Because if that's really your name, that's got to be the coolest name in the world. No, it's a project in progress. It's all good. More projects to give a try. Yeah. But Gaz, I don't think you was on when I showed this. I was inspired by you because you did the Joseph's coat technique the other week, didn't you? So I've done sort of a Joseph's coat technique, but without a black. I did it more subtle. I used a blue, and I've also done the kissing technique on there as well, which again I can share in a video if that's something that you guys would like to see. So definitely you all inspire me just as much as you get a little bit of inspiration from me. Thank you, Michelle. I've really missed watching you. Oh, Stephanie, thank you. I did thank you so much for saying. I think yours is lovely. You use the hearts. So the Joseph's technique works really brilliantly if you've got a solid stamp. My stamp was an outline one, which is why I said I did sort of a take on the Joseph's coat technique. It works even better if you've got solid stamps, because when you've heat embossed it and then you've gone over with the black and you take the black off of where the heat embossed images, you get more of that colour coming through. So Gaz's was absolutely gorgeous, definitely. Thank you, Michelle. You're very welcome. When we will see you again. So it's 2 weeks. I do this every 2 weeks for CiaoBella, but I'm thinking, so what do you think? So I'm thinking about doing live on my own channel, but doing sort of a from start to finish album, like a mini album. So maybe 1 week we will do the outside and the spine and things like that. And obviously, depending on how much time we've got, you know, with each week that goes by, I was thinking, you know, you guys could let me know what you'd like to see on the next page. If there's a particular page layout you've seen with, you know, flips and flaps or something like that. And I thought we could do sort of like a series on my own channel. So that will be on my Michelle McCarthy Crafts YouTube. So I was thinking, what do you think about that? I'll pop a post on my Facebook page. So either, obviously, when I've left here, I'll check the messages. But every 2 weeks, so in a fortnight, I'll be back here on CiaoBella's page. But that's what I'm also thinking about doing on my own pages, probably using some of these collections because they're absolutely stunning and will make the most beautiful albums. So yes, definitely let me know what you think. And then I was also thinking any particular pages you'd like to see done. You know, if you've seen someone do one and you're like, oh, I'd like to know how to do that, but I haven't got a clue, we can incorporate those as well. Oh, I've got lots of, yes, I like that idea. Oh, that's good. Mini album, yeah, on my channel. Love that. I'm just on my first full memory album. Oh, and I'm going to do 1 million now. Yes. I think when you've done one and you realise how addictive it is, I think more than anything, it is something you will do lots of. And I think I was saying last time, wasn't I? We don't store our own memories enough. That I've got hundreds, in fact, I've got thousands of photos on my phone and on the laptop, but out in memory books or albums, whatever you want to call them, out in just little trinket boxes, things like that. It's so much better to have them out like that and just either gift them or keep them, definitely. So it looks like, from what you're all saying, that sounds like something that you would like to do. So definitely we'll get on to, maybe we'll have a vote on what paper collection you'd like me to use, and then we can, you know, all decide on what pages we're popping in and things like that. So definitely what's the word I'm looking for? A collaboration between you all and me. Right, so I will leave that with you. Either pop messages here or on my page. Pop me you know, is it a private message, a PM, a DM? Slide into my DMs with some fabulous ideas. Do you know, if my daughter's watching this, she's going to kill me. I've been so cringy. Do you have a new Facebook page? So, Stephanie, my Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I've even got TikTok. They're all Michelle McCarthy Crafts. So I've kept them the same across all platforms, and I've even got the same profile picture across all platforms. So it's so much easier for you to find me. But yeah, it's just Michelle McCarthy Crafts now. So I know I've said it 5 times, but I am done. See, I've said it and the meaning's gone from it, hasn't it, Hannah? Yeah, I'm going to let you all go now. I'm going to go have my tea. Ben has cooked from scratch some chicken tikka on some skewers, and there's a little bit of salad. I can see it sat on the side. There's some salad, and I think a little bit of rice as well. So I'm really going to enjoy that after talking for 2 hours. But yes, so the album is definitely a go, and I will sort that out. The reminders will be across all my socials, so no one forgets. But so that's me for now, and I will see you next time. I'm going to try and find my mouse in all of this mess and end this. But I can't thank you all enough for joining me, and I will see you all next time.